Hey, welcome back to Between Two Screens. Really excited to have Hen'a Yadav from Studio Carter on the show today with me. Hen'a, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Ari, for having me. This is so much fun. I love what reaching out to people and finding different ways to stay connected. This is fantastic.
Firstly, tell us where you're calling in from, I guess where in the world, and how you've adapted to sort of work from home. And if you're now moved back into an office, love to hear sort of what your day-to-day looks like.
Well, I am at home right now. I live in Venice, California, LA, California. I work from home partially, but I do spend a lot of time in the office because our office doesn't have too many people and we are really well placed. So we've got a lot of social distance between us. So we go into work, but our hours are from 11 a.m. to about 9 p.m. And the reason being, we were really set up to work remotely. So we work a lot with Asia, Singapore, Shanghai, and Amsterdam. So our hours start to really pick up after 4 p.m. Therefore, we get our mornings to ourselves. So I get to do my little meditation, my workout, and take care of myself. And then I go into work.
And can you give us a little bit of the arc of your career, sort of where you grew up and how you've come to be in Los Angeles?
Oh, wow. That would take a long time, but I'll be very brief. I was born on an island, and I think most people know it as Mumbai or Bombay, but that's all I know of it because I was born there. And then I moved to Nepal, Kathmandu, and that's where I was raised. And then I went to do my schooling in Dubai. Random places. I know it sounds insane, but I went to Dubai and I went to school there, and then I decided to pursue art. So I went to Switzerland, Basel. And then I realized that, well, what am I going to do with my art and my creativity? And so I thought, well, I want to get into interior design because it's like every wall is a blank canvas. It's fantastic. This gives me an opportunity to really expand my creativity on every aspect. So I went to Montreal, Canada. And that's where I studied interior design. And ever since then, work's just been fantastic, taking me all parts and all around. I've been living in Dubai, in the Middle East. I went to Europe, Belgium. I was in Asia, Hong Kong, Singapore. And now again, brought me to LA, Studio Carter. So here I am.
How is it different working with overseas clients or projects? Is there a steep learning curve, or can someone that typically works on US projects, just assuming they can deal with the time zone, pick up a project in Singapore or Malaysia?
It's different, of course, culturally, but, being exposed to different cultures and having lived all around the world, I've found this sort of medium that's across all parts. You've got to do beautiful work. You've got to respect what you do, and you've got to be really diligent and give them new, beautiful ideas constantly. You've got to be always ahead of the others. And I pride myself in always keeping up and making sure that what I give to my client is really the best right now. And it's future proof, it's timeless. And that's really important because you don't want to look back and feel like, oh, I should have done that, and it's dated already. So, of course, culturally it's different, and you've got to be careful about how you address them or how you speak in meetings or how you send things to people. They're quite sensitive, like perhaps in Asia, they always want it to be sent to someone below them who will filter it, and then it will go to them and they will say, well, yeah, that's good enough. Now we can send it to our boss. And they're very scared of the hierarchy. However, in other parts of the world, in the Western society, you have a direct contact with the clients. There's no such thing. So there are pros and cons to everything, but yeah, it's been easy to adapt.
So you landed in Los Angeles and then this pandemic hit. Did you have a chance to explore? I mean, what's it been like for you?
It's crazy. I landed on the 5th of March and it was a lockdown on the 11th of March. But the universe is so kind to me sometimes. I'm always so grateful because on the 10th of March, I found this place, this beautiful loft that was in our budget, which is incredible at this time. Actually, because of COVID, the rents were slashed, and that's the only reason I can afford this because it's gorgeous. It's right by the beach. I literally have to step down, look right, and that's the beach, the Venice beach. And it's a quiet part of Venice Beach. It's not like full of tourists. Mm-hmm. And so every morning I go for my run there, and I'm just, I just bathe myself with gratitude for just being able to have a home. And, the lockdowns helped me slow down my life. It helped us settle down better, really ground ourselves. I get to really focus on work rather than going out and being all crazy, because that's what I'd be doing. and really set the studio's pace in place and, you know, find myself, ground myself, read my books, have time for myself, exercise. So, you know, I think I've found ways to really make this work for myself. And perhaps these changes are going to stay with me even after it opens up, you know.
Beyond the work at Studio Carter that you do, you launched The Rogue, which is an online magazine gallery. I've checked it out. It's really interesting and filled with a ton of cool content. We'll definitely share whatever links and Instagram with the viewers. Can you give us a little description of what it's all about?
Absolutely. I mean, interior design is my love. I love it. I couldn't live without it. But the Rogue is pretty much like my soul, I feel, you know. My mentor in life, Daisaku Ikeda, who basically, you know, is the person I followed for 17 years. He taught us the concept of dialogues. And that's why I really applaud you for doing this. And he believes that dialogues are a bridge between cultures. And they have this incredible human quality that can heal your spirit at a level you won't understand, but being heard and exchanging your ideas does something at a very intrinsic human level. And so I wanted to bring this idea of dialogues to a wider audience, you know. And I thought, well, I'm constantly meeting the most incredible, inspiring people in my work. And as a person who loves fashion, art, photography, you know, I want to share these people with the world. I have to. I mean, how can I not? How can I keep them to myself? It feels wrong. But I wanted to use my other skills that I don't get to use, particularly in interior design, for example, photography or fashion. I mean, I try to weave it in, but I wanted to use that interest and fuel it through the Rogue. So I broke it up into 4 categories or 4 pillars: fashion, fitness, food, and faces. And within that, I bring these incredible people that are really not famous, but they should be. Mm-hmm. They should be. They definitely need to be heard and to be shown to the world. And I put it in a very black and white, shades of gray format because I want people to just focus on the content and not be distracted. Most magazines have so much information. And so I kind of calm the noise. There's pockets of space. There's gray, white. You read the content. It's been filtered, really beautifully written. And just the crux of it has been brought to you. And for readers who are interested in the, you know, the insider, the underground people, it's really for that audience. Yeah.
And it'll come out, the next issue will be?
Well, because Studio Carter is like, you know, keeps me so busy. I only get to do 2 a year. So the next one's in December, 18th of December. And this one we've already started. It's going to be about awakening your inner philosopher. And it's going to curate 10 photographers, black and white photographers that do conceptual narrative art in a whimsical way. And it's going to, again, talk about this philosophy and one concept of this philosophy called the 10 worlds that we live in. And it's mind-blowing when you start to understand the psyche within your life. And I want to depict these 10 worlds, not in these paragraphs, but through these images that just you look at it and you know what this one world is about, and you just get it right away because images are so powerful, you know. And so I'm really working on that, and it's fantastic. It's so much fun. I'm talking to photographers all over the world. It's really fun.
I'm excited to see it. That sounds amazing.
Thanks, Ari. Thank you so much.
Before we say goodbye, is there anything around you that you keep near that's a source of inspiration or meaning? It could be something big or small that you could share with us.
I keep journaling. I've journaled about 16 or 17 books so far because I want to see what my life is saying. And there's one particular one that I wrote around when I was in my 20s. And I keep that close to me because I think I was really wise then. It's weird, but the things in there, I just keep going back to and reading because I have little, you know, bits and pieces from different books that I put in that I loved. And it just sits as a reminder. So if I have a day where I come back with sort of a low energy or some sort of negativity, I just go to that book, open up a page and remind myself of my journey. And it's always with me.
Yeah. That's great. Well, we wish you a lot of luck, both in the new role at Studio Carter. Hopefully LA starts opening up, but at least the nature's open. You can always enjoy the beautiful Pacific coast over there.
Yes.
And we're sending you a big virtual hug and hope to see you in person soon.
Thank you. I really look forward to having a drink with you soon.
Definitely.